As I said, I'm the chairman of this meeting, also the chairman of Canfor Pulp. My name is Michael Kornberg. I'll be acting as chairman of the meeting. Great pleasure for me to extend a warm invitation to everybody, particularly those from Prince George. We're delighted to be here as a board and with management once again this year. So thank you very much for coming out. It's a pleasure for me to introduce the people that are up on the head table. First, the president of Canfor Pulp, Brett Robinson, seated next to me, and I'll be asking Brett to come up and make some comments shortly. With your indulgence, I'd propose that any questions that you might have be deferred until after Brett's had a chance to make his presentation and after the formal part of the meeting. Also seated at the head table is David Calabrigo. He's a director of the company as well as the corporate secretary. David's going to act as the secretary of the meeting. I'd also like to introduce the directors of Canfor Pulp, the other directors, Peter Bentley, Ron Cliff, Stan Brackenhorks, Charles Jago, Conrad Pinette, and William Stinson. Mr. Cliff will not be standing for re-election this year. I'd like to acknowledge and thank him for the contributions to the board since the inception of the general partner back in 2006. At this point, I'd also like to express my appreciation for the contribution of all Canfor Pulp personnel to the continuing growth and operation of the company, including the most recent period, which has been more challenging in the markets, but the company has performed very well. I'd also like to introduce some of the other members of the executive management team of Canfor Pulp. Don Kane, the Chief Executive Officer, Alan Nicol, the CFO, Sean Curran, the VP Sales and Marketing, and absent today, Martin Pudlis, who's just had a hip replacement surgery but is here with us in spirit. With respect to the meeting, I'd like to appoint CST Trust Company to act as the scrutineer of the meeting, and I'd like Mr. Calabrigo to report on the scrutineer.
To all shareholders of Canfor Pulp entitled to receive such notice, CST Trust Company has provided us with a certificate as to the mailing, and a copy of the certificate will be kept with records of the company.
Would you also like to report on the report of who's here?
We're pleased to report that there are 60 shareholders holding 56,965,095 shares represented by person or by proxy at the meeting. This represents 80.22% of the 71,007,341 issued and outstanding shares.
Thanks very much. As chairman, I adopt the scrutineer's report and declare the attendance to be as David has just reported. I direct that when delivered, the final scrutineer's report be kept with the records of this meeting. In accordance with that report, I declare a quorum of the shareholders to be present and the meeting to be duly constituted for the transaction of business. I would ask those who have kindly agreed to move or second motions to give their names and to state that they're shareholders as they make a motion. As most of you know, in order to make an AGM work properly, you have to have some people that will move and second. That's not to preclude discussion on the topic or preclude anybody else from making any other motion they see fit. The first item of business is the minutes of the last meeting of the shareholders. The minutes are available for perusal by any shareholder. Unless someone wishes them read, I'll entertain a motion to take the minutes as read and approve them.
My name is Sean Curran, and I'm the shareholder. I move that the minutes of the meeting of shareholders held April 30th, 2013 be taken as read and be approved.
Thank you, Mr. Curran. Is anybody willing to second that motion? Thank you, Mr. Remish. As you've heard the motion, would everybody in favor please signify by raising a hand? All those opposed? The motion's carried. Thank you. The next item of business to place before the meeting is the consolidated financial statements of Canfor Pulp for the year ended December 31, 2013, together with the auditor's report and the report of the directors to the shareholders. These statements and reports are contained in the annual report, which is mailed to all shareholders, and copies are available for anybody at the back of the room. Unless there's any questions, I regard the statements and reports as having been received by the meeting. The next item of business is to set the number of directors, this year at 7. May I have a motion to that effect?
My name is Robert Thu. I'm a shareholder. I move that the number of directors be set at 7.
Thank you, Mr. Thu. Any seconder for that motion? Thank you, Ms. Robertson. You've heard the motion. All in favor, would you please signify in the usual manner by raising a hand? All those opposed? The motion's carried. The next item of business is the election of directors of Canfor Pulp. Nominated 4 directors are the following individuals: Peter Bentley, Stan Brackenhorks, David Calabrigo, Charles Jago, Michael Kornberg, Conrad Panett, William Stinson. All of the nominees have consented, and their names appear in the information circular and are willing to stand as directors if elected. The meeting is now open for nominations. May I have a motion to that effect? Thank you, Mr. Hayes. Is there a seconder?
My name is Peter Lovell. I am a shareholder. I second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Lovell. Are there any other nominations? You've heard the motion. All in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Carried. There being no further nominations, I declare the nominations closed. The only required number of directors being 7, and 7 people have been nominated. I declare that those persons nominated have been duly elected by acclamation as directors of Canfor Pulp to hold office until the next AGM. The next point of business is an important one. It's the appointment of the auditors, and it's the board's recommendation that the present auditors be reappointed. May I have a motion to that effect?
Mr. Chairman, my name is Stan Brackenhorst. I am a shareholder. I move that PricewaterhouseCoopers be appointed auditors of Canfor Pulp until the next AGM.
Thank you, Mr. Brackenhorst. Is there a seconder? Thank you very much, Mr. Atwall. You've heard the motion. All in favor, please signify by raising a hand. All those opposed? I declare PricewaterhouseCoopers LLP Chartered Accountants to be appointed the auditors of the company. I'd now like to invite Brett Robinson, the president, to address you about what's really going on at Canfor Pulp. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. It's great to be here once again in Prince George for our annual general meeting. On behalf of my management team, I thank you for being with us and for your continued support. 2013 was a busy but productive year for Canfor Pulp. While we faced multiple challenges across the business, our people demonstrated the ability to deliver improvements in key areas of focus while remaining resilient and responsive to emerging challenges. Over the last year, we continued to invest in our assets, delivered cost reductions, and improved productivity in our core business while completing the second phase of our energy build with the Northwood Mill beginning to export energy at the end of January and the Prince George Mill delivering record power exports in the first quarter of 2014. The safety of the people who work at our facilities continues to be our first priority and the primary cornerstone of our performance management systems. The management team, along with our union safety leaders, have increased efforts on the floor. Together, we are focused on the evolution of our safety culture as we embrace our industry-leading program while increasing our attention to the well-being of all workers and our commitment to no injuries. As we live through the greatest knowledge transfer in our history, we must be ever diligent to ensure new workers and leaders are fully trained and supported to carry out the work with the full benefits of our experience and historic learnings. Environmental performance and decreasing the impact on the community where we live and work has been an area of continuous improvement for my whole career, and 2013 did not disappoint. With the completion of several targeted projects, we delivered a step change in our odor events within this community, while at the same time almost eliminating our particulate from our largest contributor of PM 2.5 to the bowl, which is the higher health risk to humans. Over the last years, we have engaged the community to discuss our planned improvement areas and solicited feedback with one common theme emerging, and that is that we need to communicate better. So this quarter, we are very proud to roll out our new interactive display at Exploration Place called the Air We Share, which received overwhelming support. The main objective of this unit is to provide real-time feedback on the air quality within the community, while at the same time educating children and parents alike on the key contributions to the local environment. The touch display with great local design graphics was an immediate hit. I know many of the young kids who were there when we opened it up were having a lot of fun with it. This year was the first time that Canfor and Canfor Pulp produced a joint sustainability report. The report gave us the opportunity to focus on aspects of the forest products industry which single it out from most other industries. Our raw material, the tree. It's not only a renewable resource, but the manner in which we use it is very efficient, yet we are always looking for new opportunities to drive further improvements. Canfor continues to be a leader who constantly delivers incremental improvements in our journey toward true sustainability. Our continuing efforts with regard to the One Canfor strategy and reintegration of Canfor and Canfor Pulp management teams have delivered the expected financial benefits, and in addition, the last 4 months demonstrated the advantages that our size can bring to areas like logistics and procurement, with the Vancouver trucker strike and weather-related constraints that have plagued many businesses, including our own. Turning to the financial results, in 2013, higher sales realizations and improved productivity were partially offset by higher energy costs and higher fiber costs. This led to improved operating results in 2013, with sales of $887 million and net income of $42 million, up from $13 million in 2012. On the first quarter of 2014, our operations showed steady improvements in productivity, slightly offset by higher natural gas price and higher residual fiber prices. In addition, our earnings benefited from higher sales realizations and the early start of the Northwood Turbines project, with commercial operation date achieved January 29th. These improvements resulted in net income of $26 million compared to Q4 net income of $14 million. We ended 2013 with strong shipments and significant working capital reductions. Pulp markets have performed well coming into 2014 with modest improvement in all major regions. However, logistics constraints have been a significant challenge for us. The year-to-date global demand for all chemical pulp was up 3%. Softwood inventories dropped to the low end of balance in Q4 and then started their normal seasonal increase coming into this quarter, but still remain on the higher end of balance today. Consumer inventories and China customer stocks continue to be low. All NBSK mills are running today with no new capacity anywhere in the world, except for the Poles mill that has a slight recovery boiler problem today. I guess that's changed from when I wrote this. Hardwood markets, however, continue to be challenged by the new capacity that, while delayed, will be in the market by the latter half of this year. At the end of last year, we announced a first-of-its-kind global marketing cooperation with UPM that is in the process of being executed for full effect in 2014. The total fiber solution for customers worldwide will represent 6 grades of pulp produced in 8 mills on 3 continents, with our customers enjoying the combined expertise of 2 of the strongest technical service providers in the pulp business today. Canfor Pulp and UPM, who are already viewed as the go-to companies for optimization and technical solutions, will further strengthen our position with customers as we focus on delivering the right premium product to the customers' needs with premium service and support that is second to none. In short, the cooperation will deliver a high-value, high-quality total product solution. As the largest bioenergy producer in North America and a reliable green energy producer for over 4 decades, we've been driving hard to grow our energy expertise in this complementary revenue stream. 2013 was a pivotal year for us as we grew our power business with the signing of a new electricity purchase agreement for the Intercon mill, in conjunction with our board approving $30 million of capital spend to build a new turbine there. This will largely be completed in 2014, and we're looking to commission it in the first quarter of 2015. In addition, Northwood installed and commissioned 2 new turbines in the fall and recently began selling power under their 2012 EPA, while our first power contract at the PG mill was further optimized and is now able to produce and sell up to the full potential of its EPA with the completion of several projects at that facility. The combination of these efforts led to record energy exports both at the PG mill and for the company in the most recent quarter. In 2014, we will double our power exports, move closer to self-sufficiency, and build a new complementary business that will provide a base revenue stream for the next 20 years, and hopefully beyond. Emerging technologies are constantly in the news these days as more and more we hear a common term biorefinery used in future tense. However, it already exists, and it's quite simply a pulp mill. Most of the technologies that would be further refined for future bioindustries exist in our facilities today, which could give us a competitive advantage. We continue to watch and evaluate emerging and innovative technologies with a belief that the next generation of complementary revenue opportunities for our business may come from the biofuels or biocomposite space. And finally, on the people that are core to our business, attraction, retention, and growth of our next generation workforce and leaders will continue to be key to operational stability and continuing improvement efforts. Turnover of our experienced workforce is one of the greatest risks, but potentially also our greatest opportunity. More and more, we are seeing the benefits of employees moving within our organization, generating new ideas and challenging us to deliver safer, better, or more cost-effective ways of approaching our work. The balance, of course, is embracing fresh thinking that challenges paradigms while remembering that wisdom comes with experience and can often prevent injuries, highlight risks, or clarify the current approach. Focus for the year ahead. Looking forward, I would describe our efforts as focused on getting back to the basics of running well, reducing our costs, optimizing our customers, and growing our energy business. With our large pressure vessels now up to best-in-class standards, we are in a good position to focus on a few key themes within our operations, including productivity creep with increased reliability, delivering further cost reductions as we optimize our previous improvements, completing our third phase of green energy growth, and executing our global marketing cooperation to realize the full benefits of customer optimization. Finally, turning to markets for the year ahead, analysts continue to focus on new Russian softwood and eucalyptus hardwood capacity as potential headwinds despite continuing delays in these projects. For NBSK, we are encouraged as demand continues to enjoy modest growth with zero new capacity in the world, seasonal maintenance reductions over the next 2 quarters, and inventories at the higher end of balanced. In summary, our immediate focus is on the core business and improving our top quartile global position as a low-cost producer of high-quality northern softwood products. Our business has historically been highly cyclical due to overproduction, but looking forward, there's no new NBSK pulp mills being planned anywhere in the world. Not unlike the great market conditions that solid wood business has recently enjoyed, NBSK demand continues and will soon outstrip supply. I'd like to personally thank Don, our CEO, and Michael, our chairman, for their guidance and support. These are very busy guys, and yet they always make time for us and have a sincere interest in helping us be a winning business. Ron Cliff, who's been there for us whenever we've asked. In addition, I've really appreciated the solid support, patience, and guidance that we have received from our board. Most people wouldn't know this, but we're very fortunate to have such an amazing depth of knowledge within this group of mentors who each look for opportunities to challenge and support us in their own way. The pulp leadership team, many of who are here today with their vision for improvement, relentless effort, and courage to lead off in difficult changes. And we're also fortunate to have a few of our union leaders here today. We've had great union support and a committed hourly workforce. They have patiently worked alongside us, often actively involved in projects as we've upgraded assets and installed new equipment, always helping to make sure all employees are safe, making sure that everybody gets the mentoring that they need to be productive and safe. And yet another example is recently as we kicked off our reliability efforts, which will be going on for the next 2 to 3 years, we've got great support from that group again. I'd like to thank all the people in this organization for their continued commitment to our performance, the tenacity of our exceptional team in delivering ever-improving results that will undoubtedly reward the business with improved financials in 2014. I look forward to working with you over the year. Thank you.
Well, Brett, on behalf of the board, we certainly appreciate your leadership of the company and that of your team. I think it's significant that the CEO of Canfor overall bestowed a President's Award on Martin Pudlis. Now, obviously, that's a team award, but for all the work that you identified that's been done in the last couple of years. So congratulations to you and to them. At this point in the meeting, it would be appropriate to take some questions. I'm not going to take the questions. I'm going to direct them all to Brett. But if there are any, we certainly welcome them. Brett, it looks like your presentation was remarkably complete, and so there are no questions. And on that basis, I will now accept a motion to terminate the meeting.
My name is Satirius.
Thank you very much, Satirius. I appreciate the motion. Is there a seconder?
My name is Ms. White. I'm a shareholder. I second the motion.
Thank you very much, Ms. White. All in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Doesn't look like there's any opposition, so this meeting is terminated. Thank you very much for coming out. Thanks.